Now, this was not a judgment, though.
No.
When you saw your past sins,
Right.
some might think that's a judgment. So distinguish that for me.
Sure. I think if it was a judgment, because I still felt the love of God all around me. If it was a judgment, I wouldn't be sitting here with you. He's a just judge. It would have been over. God had a plan. This was part of his plan. And we'll talk about this. I was ill prepared for this. And I was trying to get into it.
If you had been judged at that moment at your state in life, do you think you would have just been sentenced to purgatory for 1 billion years? Or
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Right.
Yep. So he shows me this. And it wasn't like he dwelled on it.
I mean, because it doesn't sound like you were that bad of a guy. I mean, billions may be quite an exaggeration.
But
I'm just throwing out a number.
I'll be honest with you.
I'm just throwing out a big number.
I was probably like 99% of the people in the pews in the Catholic Church.
Okay.
I thought I was inoculated.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm Catholic. I was baptized. I'm good. No man is good.
So when you just a few clarifications. You talked about how you worshiped God, but you didn't see God. What, or did you? What was that like?
I did not see God, but St. John, again, words, eloquently says God is spirit, God is love, God is light, and God is the Word made flesh. John, so
was this a beatific vision?
I believe it was. Yeah,
was it like would you say it was, I mean, I guess the holier one is, the greater their vision of the beatific vision is. I think that's sound Catholic teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Was this kind of like a preamble to the beatific vision? Like, were you on the outside chamber of heaven? Were you in heaven? How do you think about those
That's
things?
a great question. I don't know. That's why the subtitle of the book is An Ordinary Man's Journey to the Presence of God.
Mm-hmm.
I think heaven is overused because I read these near-death experience. I went to heaven. I saw my uncle and I saw my father, and I was like, no, you didn't. Or my horses were there. I love golf. My golf courses. It's like, no. So I think that's why I wrote Presence of God.
But do you think if you had gone through a judgment, then would you have experienced the presence of other people and had a different kind of experience of heaven? Okay.
Yeah. So, but to answer your question specifically, I believe that what I saw was the Holy Spirit. And given a glimpse of the beatific vision, I absolutely, because when you read the catechism of the definition of the beatific vision, and it's even, in our prayers, God from God, light from light. Mm. And you go into the Eucharistic prayer where the priest says, welcome them, Lord, into the light of your face. And Jesus said, I am the light of the world. And St. John writes eloquently, what he proclaimed to us, we declare to you. God is light.
Now, I'm not saying at all that I'm skeptical of this. I'm not. I believe you wholeheartedly. But you have read a lot of near-death experience accounts. And I've read somewhere that the scientists try to explain this away by saying the experience of light with a tunnel, that kind of thing, is a neurological event.
Correct.
You know anything about that?
Yes. Yeah, I do. That statement accounts for less than 12% of near-death experiences. The neurons are just firing their last moments. So there's these flashes of light and it gets trapped in the memory. Okay. That's like 1 out of 8. However, with mine, we'll hopefully get into this. I'll finish with heaven and how I came back.
Yes.
Let me do that, and then we'll pick up with that question. So again, I mentioned I couldn't tell you how long I was there, but I was out of my body. And next thing I know, I'm told you have to go back. And my eyes pop open on the table, and I'm looking around.
Do you think that was the voice of God?
Yes.
When I pray, I try to think, am I praying to the Father, the Son, or the Holy Spirit, or the Trinity?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a sense of who spoke to you specifically?
I think it was the Spirit. Yes, the Holy Spirit. So my eyes pop open, and there's all these doctors hovering over me, screaming at me. Say something, say something. I look around and I begin to explain to them what they were doing. I said, you used 150 joules, didn't you, doctor? I asked him a question. And he looks around and he goes, who is this guy? How does he know what we did to him? And they're in the book because the Mayo had to sign off the book and they all were interviewed. And so I began to talk, and he said, you were talking to us when you were dead. You did not have a heartbeat, and everything you said was true. I said, I don't remember any of that, of speaking to you.
Hey, thanks guys for checking out the Conor Gallagher Show. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, or comment, or whatever you got to do to support it. And I appreciate that very much.